you, and then you can then further then introduce you and your team, and then take over from there, Sharmin. That okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Yeah, and can be interactive, but however, at the end we will anyway have Q&A. Thanks. So good afternoon, everyone. Uday here from Incubate Hub. Welcome you all. I think we will just wait for a while, give a little bit of time for people to join in. There's a long weekend, in the US, and obviously there has some impact here as well in terms of people being on vacation, and maybe might take some little while to join in. But really appreciate your time, and again, welcoming you all again on behalf of Incubate Hub and InStory. So today, I think it's going to be a very, very good topic. I am sure the last webinar you would have seen in terms of how you can possibly, save on your costs from the marketing side of it, right? But getting the ROI is extremely critical aspect of any marketing. I mean, I'm sure, I think Sharmin and team are here who are the specialists out over there on various aspects, we have been working on. So today's cadence will be, we will, so Shreya and Truth, have you started the recording as well? So that, okay, it's anyway live streaming is on, but that's good, right? We are good to go.
Yes, we are good to go.
Okay. So again, welcoming you all. This is Uday here from Incubate Hub, and I appreciate you all joining in today afternoon. We are live on other channels as well. So I think we can begin. So today is going to be an interesting topic. As I said, last time you would have seen the webinar on how, from the marketing side of it, in terms of, how can you save costs, right? But here is something which is extremely critical topic. Another very interesting topic. I mean, the earlier one was around the fraud and all that, which might be also happening when you're actually doing a lot of marketing spends. But today's topic is again an interesting one. Before that, I would like to really, introduce InStory and Sharmin and team. I mean, Sharmin, just to give you, I know her from quite a few years, but really any entrepreneur founder, you need to see that whole passion and multifaceted personality. And that's what I think I have always seen, Sharmin all about, being an entrepreneur, consultant, theater artist and author and whatnot. I think I can speak for almost 10 minutes about Sharmin. But as a founder and CEO at InStory, she has, also been a serial entrepreneur. I mean, she has been a founder at even earlier at Art Right Is Productions, and also as a senior business analyst at Mu Sigma. And obviously, people who are aware of, what kind of breed comes out of Mu Sigma, right? Sharmin, you would agree. But then that's about it. I think you'll surely have a very good time, today. She holds a bachelor's degree in engineering, electronics and communications from Vishwesvaraya Technology University. And today's topic is about attribution audit. How marketers, how it's a way of marketers to maximize ROI, return on their investment, and a complete review of, your channels, campaigns, and marketing technology platforms to highlight issues, recommend improvements, and streamline your reporting. I'm sure, without much of ado, I would rather want to have Sharmin take over from here. Sharmin, all yours, please.
Hey, thank you so much, Uday. And thank you, everyone. Welcome one and all, those who are, who've joined us here, and those who are watching the live streaming right now, and to the ones who will watch us later once they see the recording. So it's not just me here. First of all, thank you, Uday, for the kind words. So I am joined by my team, based in Bangalore, India. So Ashwin is our head of marketing. And Ashwin has been phenomenal with respect to, setting up all of the marketing activities for our product, and then, conducting all of the marketing related execution for our clients now that we have the services side of things up. I'll talk about it in a little more detail. So Ashwin is the one who's single-handedly also responsible for, for the main part of the webinar today, that is the attribution audit, essentially. I would also like to welcome, Smita, who is our head of partnerships and alliances. So basically, if you want us to do something for you, she's the person to reach out to. She's the one who handles all of the client-related engagements and interactions, and then passes it on to the team for the next level execution. So without further ado, I am super excited to be a part of this. Thank you to the Incubate Hub team for organizing this. This is incredible. And we hope that, in the next half an hour or so that, we are talking about what all we do. I hope that we are able to add some real value to your time, and that, from the 2 cents that we have to talk about, we hope to interact with you guys sometime soon. And we are very, very easy to reach out to. We are in Storied. We are a 3-year-old, 3.5-year-old startup based out of Bangalore, India, and also San Jose in California. So I am in San Jose, but my team is in India. So I must also say that, initially when we started, we were only a product company. But now, recently, around 18 months ago, based on the extensive demand that, our customers had, and, all of the queries that were coming in from all of the organic leads that we were getting, we decided to foray into the services side of things also, essentially expand our portfolio of offerings. So I feel very happy to share that now we are both a product and a services company. And on the webinar today, I would like to talk about the services side of things, because enough has been spoken about the product. So on the services side of things, so as Uday also mentioned, so I have a deep-rooted background into analytics, into management consulting side of things. So we are a team of over 100 people now, and expanding, out of which the largest number of people are in the tech side. We have about 50 plus analysts now, people who have all the necessary skill sets to help you solve any and all of your business related problems. So we decided to put them into good use. So I'm very excited to share that for the first time ever, there is a company which is doing this. Essentially, what we are now offering is analytics as a service. When I say analytics as a service, what I mean to say is that, let's say if you are a startup, or if you are a mid-market SME sized company, or if you are a large company / enterprise, any and every company, irrespective of what they are selling, what their product is, right, you will always have a quantum of data which would be expanding, right? Now, I do understand that it can get a little tedious to make head and tail of that data. How do you understand what that data represents? How do you know if you are collecting all of that data, if you are able to generate the required insights from that data, and if that data is structured or unstructured, and etc. There are multiple things. So basically, how do you make head and tail of that data? Now here's the challenge, that a lot of people can generate insights, but if you are a startup, for example, instead of hiring people in-house, analysts, because you would essentially need about 3 to 4 analysts, instead of hiring people and spending that money on generating those insights, cleaning up their data, doing all the exploratory data analysis, etc. Instead of doing it in-house, what we are now offering is an on-demand analytics generation service. Essentially, what that means is that outsource all of your data related challenges to us at InStory, and we would provide analytics as a service. So essentially, on a monthly basis, setting up, let's say, your Google Analytics, your mixed panel data, anything, and everything under the sky. Generating those monthly reports or weekly reports or bi-weekly reports, though bi-weekly is a very ambiguous term. I don't understand, is it twice in a week, or is it twice in a month? But yeah, I've read this quite, at a number of places. So generating all the reports, the insights, and managing your data, cleaning up your data, doing all the data analysis, etc., that is required, and ensuring that you are up to date on how your customer are on how your customers are performing, on how your product is performing. Now again, having said that, this can be expanded into multiple segments, multiple verticals. Marketing, of course, is the one that is the most avid, if you see, because any and every product, irrespective of whether it is a pandemic or a recession, no matter what you're selling, what your product talks about, you always need to market it. So marketing analytics, or then talking about multiple other segments, right? It can be let's say HR analytics, sales analytics, your transaction related data, supply chain, procurement, vendor management, anything and everything under the sky. If you have data and you want to make sense out of it, we are the people that you should reach out to. So how does this work, right? It's very easy. Now, instead of hiring 3 people in-house, what you do is that you pay for only one person. So which basically means that we help you cut 70% of your costs, right? So the same amount of work that, let's say, a team of three or four people were doing at your company, now you outsource it to us, and we will do it at at a 70% discounted price. And it is an annual retainer, so a monthly pay as you go model. And what we've done is that if in case you're not happy with the offerings that we have, then it's very easy. It's just a simple 1 month notice period that you have to give us, and we would then terminate it. But I must say that right now we are working with about some 77 odd companies globally, in the services side of things. And they have only been renewing every year. Our attrition, our churn rate is zero, which I think validates the fact that we've been able to add some value. We've also received some incredible customer feedback from our customers, especially for whom we are doing the analytics as a service. First of all, of course, 70% 70% cut in their manpower costs, which directly impacts their ROI. I am like, why don't you use that money into marketing? We understand that you would have budgets, irrespective of whether you are a funded startup or not, or whether you're a mid-market SME company or an enterprise. Each one of us has to save money and channelize that money into marketing or any other vertical that we want to. So as a result of that, outsource your analytics to us and we will take care of everything. Now, that is one of the offerings that we have. I would just like to share a small deck quickly, just take everyone through, what all we have to offer. This would, I think, put things into perspective. Please let me know if you're able to see my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Yes. Okay. So, we don't just do analytics as a service wherein we have a monthly retainer. We also help you solve a lot of business problems. Now, what kind of business problems that I'm talking about, right? So as I said, there are multiple industry functions. And of course, we know that analytics has had a huge impact on the entire value chain of a particular company across different segments, different verticals, be it demand planning, inventory management, logistics and transportation, procurement, vendor management, sales and marketing, etc., anything. Now, some of the projects that we've done, now these are essentially some of the larger projects that we've done. When I say larger projects, what I mean is that, this is obviously not a retainer. This is a one-time thing wherein if you have a business problem and you are trying to figure out how to solve that, we have done a ton of work in this space. So for example, for a very large e-commerce company, we had done something like this, is that we had built a recommendation system. Now, just to put things into perspective, recommendation system can be of two types, right? Be it content-based or user-based. Now, all of us have used platforms like Netflix, Prime, etc. So, you know that when you're watching something, when you're consuming some content on Netflix, it is quite evident that, after watching it, they ask you for some feedback. Did you like it? Did you not like it? This essentially helps them build a recommendation system in the background, which means that, they would then show you similar kind of content that you like, when you're just browsing through your OTT platform. Now, why is this important? This is important because, this will help you engage with your customers better, with, the kind of recommendations, and thereby increase the share of wallet for that particular company. So now what we can do in this case is that, I'm so sorry, I think my slide is not visible, is it?
Yeah, I was about to say this. It's not progressing,
Is it? Oh, okay. Is it? Just tell me if it's visible now. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, now it's visible. Yeah.
Are you able to see the full screen of the recommendation system?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
no, it's not the full screen, Sharmi.
It's not
Just
the full screen, but
we see the whole slide. What
whole
I
slide though.
not do the full screen mode.
Okay. 1 second. Let me just do a stop share and then let me share it again.
Yeah.
This is something with the Zoom, I guess. Are you able to see it now?
Yes, yes, very much.
Okay, so you can see the full slide, right? That recommendation
Perfect.
system. Okay,
Yes.
so we build this recommendation system for, one of our clients. So how does this help is that, it'll basically increase your customer engagement, and then of course higher the engagement, higher the share of wallet, more the revenue, right? Then another thing that we built for one of our customers, lead prioritization, right? I mean, we all get a bunch of leads, and then, how do you essentially ensure that, you are converting the right lead to a customer, right? So how do you predict the likelihood of converting a lead? So there is something called as customer propensity modeling. That is something that we done for a large a real estate company based out of Singapore. Um, then a very, very common problem, and, this is something that we would talk about in much more detail. So channel attribution modeling, right? For example, if there is an e-commerce platform, now irrespective of whether it is an e-commerce or anyone, the biggest challenge for most of the consumers, for most customers, that we've seen, is that how do you analyze which particular channel is driving the maximum traffic to your site, right? I mean, irrespective of multiple, let's say it is Google, or your Google or Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, etc., or any other channel where you're promoting. How do you know that which particular platform is responsible for driving the maximum traffic to your site? So we've also done channel attribution modeling, and the biggest the biggest thing that happens through doing this is that how do you completely redefine your your advertising strategy? How do you allocate the right amount of funds, the right budget to the particular channel? And of course, thereby, how do you gain a large number of customers, potential customers, who would then convert to your paying customers? RFM modeling, RFM is of course nothing new. Essentially, how do you analyze the recency, frequency, and the monetary value, so that you're able to identify what are the buying patterns of your customers, and then accordingly retarget and acquire the right set of customers. And of course, the end goal here is to be able to offer is to be able to launch the right set of offers in order to, let's say, re-attract or reacquire your lost customers, or to acquire new customers, right? So this of course needs a large amount of data. So any company which is into offering into launching a bunch of offers, because they have a portfolio of products that they are selling. So we have also done RFM modeling for one of the large e-commerce based companies based in the US. Then again, market makes both online, offline, right? As in, how do you map the impact of conducting marketing to your sales? Again, the end goal is to maximize your sales. How do you know which particular platform is essentially working the best, and then channelize your spends to that particular channel? So optimize marketing spends using statistical modeling that we've We've already built these models in-house, and any data that you have, we can obviously help you understand how to maximize your sales using your marketing data. Market basket analysis, and then again customer lifetime value analysis. This is essentially just to put things into perspective about what all we've done and about what all we can do. So yeah, with that, having said that, so we do two things from the analytics as a service side of things. Analytics as a service, number one is that we go on a monthly retainer wherein all of your analytical data requirements, we can handle it end to end at a 70% discounted price as opposed to what you are already spending. Our agenda is very simple: outsource it to us, let us do it for you, let us make your life very easy, let us conduct the exploratory data analysis and help you generate the insights that you need. And instead of spending that amount of money, that 70% money that you save, please reallocate it and use that budget onto other into other verticals like marketing, or like, let's say acquiring more number of employees for other verticals that you might have. So we help you cut costs using that analytics, using analytics as a service. And if you have any business problems, we have about 77 plus customers. We're a team of over 100 people. We have the capabilities to be able to solve that. And like I just showed you about the things that we can do. Now, having said that, I would love to talk about one very interesting thing that we have started, which is called as the attribution audit. Right now, what is attribution audit and what all we can do? I think the best person to talk about this is Ashwin, because he's the mastermind behind this. So Ashwin, why don't you maybe share your screen and walk us through what all we can do from from an attribution audit perspective, and how we can help our customers channelize all of their marketing budget into the right way, and how do we help them track their data.
Thank you, Charmin. Once again, thank you so much for attending this webinar in the middle of the afternoon. And for all of you watching this later on, I hope you find this session to be useful and hopefully do an attribution audit yourself. To just introduce myself, I'm the head of marketing of InStory. I've been a digital marketer for over 11 years now, and I've been handling multiple channels for marketing, both online and offline. And one of the key problems that as digital marketers we face is the problem of attribution. And I'm sure all the digital marketers here would have felt it themselves on different occasions when they're trying to do campaigns and they're not very sure how their campaigns are performing, what channels should they concentrate more on, and how often should we optimize our channels and our spends on various channels. And that's where attribution audit essentially comes in. In simple terms, an attribution audit is basically a complete audit of all the channels, a review of all your channels, your campaigns, and marketing technology platforms, and to highlight any kind of issues that might be there in terms of data capture, in terms of data representation, or in accounting itself. And finally, to recommend any kind of improvements that we can do in terms of reporting, in terms of data capture and analysis itself. The outcome of an attribution audit is essentially a dashboard where you get the complete data of all the channels that you are running marketing on. And in terms of traffic, in terms of analytics, and in terms of where users are coming from, how much is being spent, and the ROI for the spends that you do. So that's the attribution audit itself. And in an attribution audit, the objective is to review all your channels, whether it's paid marketing channels or email marketing channels, social and organic channels, as well as all the tools that you use as a digital marketer or as a company, which is your Google tools, your Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, and your Search Console, as well as the pixels that are used for various social media and ad platforms out there, such as Facebook pixels, or Google, or Twitter, LinkedIn, etc., as well as your analytic platforms, which could include even app analytic platforms such as, say, a Mixpanel or a CleverTap, etc., or it could be your Google Analytics, HubSpot Analytics, etc., as well as your CRM softwares. So if you have any CRM as well built into your system, we review all these marketing platforms that you use And then we highlight any issues that might be there in the data capture, in the process of capturing data, or in terms of finding out where the traffic is coming from, where the users are transacting, what campaign is working, etc. We look at the complete dashboards. We identify any kind of opportunities that might be there in terms of optimization. We also help you determine the ROI for all the channels that exist, and then get the most out of your channels and campaigns. So we basically break down your channels into owned, earned, paid, and direct. And direct traffic is what we are most interested in. It essentially means that there is traffic coming into your site, or there are transacting users coming into your site, but you don't really know where they're coming from. The understanding of direct traffic is that the user has literally typed out your website and they have entered into your site, but there is actually more to it. In most cases, direct traffic could be a result of an affiliate, could be a result of a referral, could be a result of a search intent as well. Direct traffic could happen because somebody has just seen your name somewhere and then they decided to finally Google you and find you. So it's always important for marketers such as me or you guys who are watching this to find out what direct traffic actually means and where are these people coming from, so that they can be reassigned into either owned, earned, or paid media. And that's the main output of the attribution audit, that we identify these direct traffic users, we find out where they're coming from, and help you tag them and give them a proper destination, essentially, from where they're coming from. The attribution audit, like Sharmin has mentioned, is perfect for someone who's in a middle to large companies, so funded startups who've been, who's looking at raising more money, or actually justifying the money that they've raised, and they've been spending money on different channels. Now it's a good time for your investors to, ask you to justify your spends. So it's a good time for you to look at where this money has gone and how that has impacted your reach, as well as larger enterprises who have a lot of channels and they're running multiple campaigns at once. And it's important for us to know where the users are coming from, what campaigns are working, what channels are working. So anyone who uses a large range of channels and just don't have complete understanding of all the ROI for all the campaigns that they're running, and there are multiple campaigns running at the same time in different channels, this is the ideal thing for you to do. The attribution audit that we do especially contains a complete analysis of all the key areas. We provide recommendations. We also bring in experts, both internal and external, to help you with any kind of particular channel that you're not getting the data from, to fix issues that you have, as well as provide counseling, consulting, essentially. And in the end of this, you get an actionable checklist of all the items that you should prioritize. And we will look at a few examples of these as well. The idea of an attribution audit is that at the moment before the audit, you might have a few inefficient channels. You might have errors in your data. For example, there might be channels that are currently not being attributed to for, or there might be double counting happening because the same user is coming from different channels, or you don't have a complete visibility in ROI, or there is also a chance that you're not properly engaging with the users that are coming because you don't know the channel that they're coming from. With the audit, what you get is a complete actionable list of recommendations, and you also get to utilize your channels more efficiently. All the issues that you might have in terms of data capture or data reporting are fixed or reduced, and you have a complete visibility of your ROI. And finally, you have a better understanding of where your user is coming from, and hence you can engage with them better. And that's the entire idea of an attribution audit. I will be skipping the pricing and I think the costing information at the moment. Just want to add that I'll just take you through a few examples now. What I will do is I'll take you through a few examples of what an attribution audit would look like if you are using HubSpot as the base of your marketing efforts, and how attribution audit can help you reduce a lot of your errors. What do we do if we were to take up a company, your company's marketing information, and analyze it in terms of where the users are coming from and how they transact, etc. So why do we need to do an attribution audit, right? What makes you want to do an attribution audit? So if this is how you are looking at the moment, like if you look at your Google Analytics at the moment and you see that direct traffic is unusually high for you or make up a large percentage of the traffic, then you should definitely do an attribution audit, because ideally you should know either the traffic that is coming is paid or organic or from social media, or is it coming from a particular affiliate or referral. These are typically the channels that you would get traffic from. If unless you, it's very unlikely that you have a large number of traffic just coming directly, unless it's an app traffic. Again, you will know how to attribute that to an app traffic as well. So that's one of the cases where you should look for an attribution audit. Or if, for example, you're getting a lot of leads, if you have a B2B startup or a B2B company, and you're getting a lot of form fills happening, but you don't know where these form fills are happening from, there's no way for you to be completely sure if the lead capture mechanism that you're using, which one is the one that is working best for you. So that's also a place where you should look at attribution audit as something that you should do. You can see on the right side of this that you have essentially a large number of direct traffic for this particular case. Or in this case, you might see it's still a significantly larger percentage compared to civic paid or social, and it's been assigned as the direct traffic. So in these cases, based on HubSpot reports or Google Analytics reports, if we find out that there's a lot of traffic that's not been attributed, we actually go through and look at all your tagging and all the other tools that are there and find out all the errors that might be actually resulting in a larger direct traffic percentage. So these are tools that we normally review in an attribution audit. We look at your Search Console, Google Tag Manager, we look at your analytics to see if conversions have been set up properly. If you need help with setting up goals and conversions, we also help you do that. We also fix any kind of issues that might be there in pixels from different ad platforms, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., to track conversions, whether Google Ads is linked properly to Google Analytics. If you're using HubSpot or any other kind of CRMs, you also look at the data integration with the website, as well as within HubSpot, look at the various reports that are being generated, and we fix any issues that you might have. We also look at your email marketing tracking, and as well as social media publishing tool tracking. If you are using a buffer or any kind of tools out there, we also help you look at traffic coming in from these other channels as well, so that you will get, if there is an issue, we are able to highlight it. And in the end, we generate reports which show the acquisition for channels as well as conversions for the goals that you have set. We also look at the traffic analytics of HubSpot or CRM that are out there. We also look at the channel-wise split of various channels and the kind of traffic that you're getting and the kind of direct traffic proportion that's there. So here's an example of a Google Analytics report where we have found, okay, there is a bunch of traffic that has been unassigned, or there's traffic that just says as direct traffic. So we know that these are issues that we must now fix, and we must actually attribute the traffic that's coming as direct to one of these other channels that might be there. Similarly, we could do a complete split of the traffic proportion that you have at the moment, and then find out, okay, actually the direct traffic proportion here is 18%, but it could probably be split into one of these other categories as well, once we fix the errors and attributions that might be not there at the moment. Similarly, we do look at the various conversions goals that you have set as well, and find out what is the percentage of them that have not been attributed at the moment, or has just said it just says direct at the moment. So we can actually help you fix those issues as well. And we do the same thing with your CRM. We find out the proportion of direct traffic that's there, and we look at any kind of errors that might be there or that we could quickly fix, ads, conversions as well. And the end result of it, whether it's form submissions, whether it's ads, direct traffic, etc., is that we find issues that are resulting in that higher traffic proportion being direct, and then find out, okay, in reality, it could be a referrals that is high, but it has been attributed earlier as direct. So we help create custom attribution reports as well. And once we find the issues in the attribution audit, the next step is to implement fixes and then review it. So we look at UTM parameters that you've set up, signatures that you have set up in your emails that you're sending out with your sales team. We look at any social media updates, whether there's any kind of tracking put up on those, or IP addresses of various users. We also look at any kind of tracking issues, headers, tags, etc., issues that might be there in, or cookie consent issues that might be there in your website. So we fix all these issues that are there. And in the end, the result that we want is essentially, complete understanding of where the user is coming from. How can we find, which page is performing best for you in terms of form fills, customer registration, for example, and how can we add attribution to those pages and those campaigns that you're running. Similarly, we look at, if direct traffic is not a significant contributor, but we still want to find out where the user is coming from, we can help break down those users as well. So that's pretty much the entire attribution audit, step by step. We essentially look at the various issues that you might be facing. One such issue is a direct traffic issue that has been shown here. This is one very particular case where one of our users actually had spikes in his direct traffic that was coming to their website, and it turned out to be a bug in their analytics itself. So we could even look at these kind of anomalies when we are doing an attribution audit to find out why there are suddenly certain spikes that happen or sudden fall that happens in your traffic, and how these things happen. So we can do an analysis of all your old customer data and find out how did the traffic go up at that time, what was the reason for it. And that's pretty much the entire attribution audit itself. And I'm now open to questions, passing it back to Sharmi.
Yeah, if there are any questions, we would love to take them.
Yeah, thanks, Ashwin and Sharmin. Primarily, Sharmin, what has been your experience in terms of, I'm sure you work with a lot of customers, but in terms of your overall, employees, or, you have already shared as to how many companies you can work at a given moment of time. So I just wanted to understand if you could share something on that.
Yeah, right now, I think almost 100 to 150 of them. Yeah, because
okay.
we have a pretty large team.
Okay.
So yeah, 100 to 150 of them.
Okay. And how do you go about it? I mean, one is the attribution audit, but in terms of your other services, what does it take for you to quickly do a pilot, and what does it take for you to really show it to the customer that, that those viability outputs are being shown to the customer from the kind of work you do? Yeah.
Right. So generally what we do is that, for anyone who's a large customer, right? For example, if they want to do a pilot, what we do is that we get into a 6 to 8 week pilot. Generally 8 weeks, because 2 months is a good time, because large customers do have a lot of data. So pilots only happen for the large business problems that we solve, like for example do an RFM modeling or a channel attribution modeling, or any other kind of modeling that they need, right? So pilot of generally 8 weeks, and then if after the once the exploratory data analysis is done, if the results are satisfactory, then we get into a, let's say, 5 to 6 month long process, wherein we have weekly calls with our customers team, and there are certain milestones that are set, that let's say at the end of month 1 this is what we will be showing, at the end of month 2 this is what we'll be showing, etc. And then at the end of month 5 that is when we would give the final delivery, and then we would ensure that all of the hand holding is there for the next 2 to 3 months again. And if in case they need us to do something where certain dashboards required.
Sandeep, sorry, if you could please unmute yourself.
Yeah. So if there is any hand holding that is required post the 5-6 month long project, we can definitely do that as well. We don't do any pilots for the for the analytics as a service, because it is essentially just how there is SaaS. Similarly, now we've started analytics as a service, wherein we do monthly. Basically, it's like an ongoing monthly thing, right? So annual retainers with a simple 1 month notice period that we need if you would like to terminate it. So yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, it's very interesting. If you ask me, analytics as a service is something which I personally feel that with the kind of proliferation, the insight generation as well as AI algorithms are getting into. So would you like to actually share a little bit more in terms of typically how customers have been, in what all areas or functions people have been utilizing your services? And if you'd like to share anything around that.
Yeah, sure. So, multiple, so most of our customers are US based, 90% US and 10% outside US right now. And, we are looking at expanding into other geographies like UK, and then Australia, South America, etc., and GCC countries, of course. Now, having said that, so, they are spread across retail, e-commerce, CPG, FMCG, a lot of CPG, FMCG guys, direct to consumer brands. Then, there is BFSI, manufacturing. Now we are looking at getting a pilot in the pharma space. But having said that, what we've seen is that for the analytics as a service, most of the companies that are working with us are the mid-market SME guys and a bunch of startups. Like we have some 15 startups who've enrolled for the analytics as a service. So I think analytics as a service and the attribution audit both, these are the two offerings that are right now, we've seen a bunch of people doing this. Yeah.
Thanks. I'm sure. Today with the whole D2C being like, and also as you rightly said, in India and Southeast Asia as well, and also to a good extent in Australia and ANZ as well, we are seeing a lot of need around this. So I am sure, I appreciate, we will see how this can be really leveraged, your experience, from the US geography, how we can leverage it. Really appreciate that. Thanks.
Thank you so much. And if anyone is interested, it is very easy to reach out, to reach out to us. You can either reach out to the Incubate Hub team, or you can reach out to us directly. I'm Sharmin, so sharmin@instory.com, or Ashwin @instory.com, or Smita, it's SMITHA @instory.com. Or very simple, just write to hello@instory.com, and we would love to have a chat with you.
Just in case anyone has any questions, feel free to unmute and ask. Else, I think, we're good to go, Sharmin. Is it?
Thank you so much. Amazing. It was very nice talking to you all. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.